When we open up our Bibles to 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verses 1 till 5, it reads there, "For I want you to know, brothers, that our fathers were all under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and all were baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea." Verse 3, "And all ate the same spiritual food, and all drank the same spiritual drink. For they drank from the spiritual rock that followed them, and the rock was Christ." Verse 5, "Nevertheless, with most of them, God was not pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness." Verse 5 is what I want to stress on the first half. Nevertheless, with most of them, God was not pleased. We see the people of Israel in the land when they were moving out from Egypt and walking towards the promised land. They experienced the supernatural move of God. They saw God part the Red Sea. They saw God throw manna from heaven. There was the cloud of glory that was above them. They saw water coming forth from the rocks. But in verse 5 of 1 Corinthians 10, it says, "Nevertheless, with most of them, God was not pleased." That goes on to speak to us that no matter how great signs and wonders we see, does not mean that God is pleased with you. We need to daily check onto our lives, check our lives. Are we people that are obedient to the word of God? Are we people that are people who are seekers of God? You see, the people of Israel in the wilderness, they were grumblers, complainers. They constantly thought of going back to Egypt. They constantly kept their eyes on Egypt. Every time a problem arose, they kept grumbling and complaining. And because of that, God was not pleased with them. When the spies were sent to spy out the land, they came with a negative report, except the two, Joshua and Caleb. And the rest of the people of Israel chose to believe the 10 spies' negative report. And because of their unbelief, God was upset with them. Today I want to tell you, because you experience the supernatural in your life, don't take it for granted that God is pleased with you. You need to daily check yourself. You need to daily live a life that's sensitive to God. That you and I don't move into a life of unbelief. That you and I don't move into a life of bitterness, grumbling. That you and I would not fix our eyes on Egypt, that is the world and the ways of the world. We need to understand that it is not about experiencing the supernatural that determines our walk with God, but it is about our day-to-day obedience, day-to-day, every day hearing His word and obeying it. In the face of calamity, we still look up to Him in faith, knowing He will take us through these times of crisis. We need to be like people who, like Joshua and Caleb, even though they saw the giants of the land, they still chose to look up to God. We need to be people that keep fixing our eyes on God, not getting bitter or grumbling or complaining or moving into unbelief. The people of Israel, they experienced amazing things of God. They saw the supernatural move of God, and yet God was not pleased with them. I want to encourage you today. Don't be excited because you see the supernatural. Be excited when you obey God. Be excited when you walk according to His word. Be excited when you choose to believe even when circumstances tell you don't believe. Be excited when you are clinging on to God, holding on to His word, walking in His ways. Because I tell you, you will never be disappointed. The supernatural will follow you. The supernatural will be made manifest. But more important than anything else, you and I need to do is constantly walk with God in deep communion and a relationship with Him. God bless you.